Hello, everybody. Welcome to LT Outdoors Sunday Night Live. I'm going to share this on Facebook real quick here. Of course, she's coming. She's such a goon. Hang on, turd. I know. You brought me a toy. You're such a butthead. All right. Come on. Hey, Lisa. How you feeling? Get better soon. Hey there, Bill. Hey, Don. How you guys doing this evening? I hope you all had a good week. It's definitely, I got a lot to talk about tonight as far as ice fishing goes. Lots of good news on that front. So, hey there, Rick. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Johnny. Good to see you on here, man. How you doing? Hey, Shane. Yep. I hope you guys are all doing good. Got, like I said, lots of stuff to talk about tonight. I am going to be auctioning off an ice fishing bag I decided to put together. Right now, my car is actually broke down, so it needs some work. If you watch my recent video, you'll see what I'm talking about. I believe it's the wheel bearings. I'm hoping it's the wheel bearings. Hey, Braden says hi, jammers. She's too busy looking at the ice fishing stuff I got here to talk about. I am going to talk about rods tonight. I brought some of my favorite rods up here, the ones that I'll be using this winter to show you guys, and I'll explain why each one has their place. And then, like I said, I've got a big ice fishing package I'll be auctioning off tonight. Oh, hey there, Mike. How you doing, buddy? Yep, got some. Oh, sorry, Lisa. But yeah, ice is, I was on 5 inches 2 days ago, and there's probably more than that now. So, and a lot of the lakes are going to be good like that. Hey there, Rob. Put it out tonight for his just to get it up there. But I wanted to show you, the whitening. I actually figured out a new process. No, I will not name it on here just because I know it's pretty special what I started doing. And yes, it takes a little bit more work, but they come out super clean. Smell is gone. I mean, they are perfect. So I'm very excited about that. What's up, Richard? How you doing, dude? So yeah, very excited. But as you can see right there, that's only 3 days. Took me 3 days with my bugs and to get it whitened like that. It's very quick process. And not only did I finish that, I get 3 skulls every 3 days. So I'm doing really good on the skull front there, getting those done for everybody. I had a total of 50. Right now, I'm at 53 skulls brought to me this year, and I think there's supposed to be 3 more brought tomorrow. So I'm very happy. That kind of stuff is what gets me through the winter. Because if you didn't know, I burn propane here, and that's not cheap. For those of you that's ever had a propane pig, it is not good. So yeah, right. I know second front or second floor. The worst part, what you just said there is we just got good ice. Finally get good ice, and the car's gonna break. So yeah, really sucks. Hey, there you go. That sounds good. I got to learn how to do that. I like that, man. That's good stuff. Yeah, it's a real good amount, man. I never, I set a goal for 50 and I was just hoping I'd hit that. But yeah, I'm at 53 and I'm supposed to have 3 more. And I know that's not the end of it. I got more getting dropped too. So yeah, it's a good season. I might even hit 60, who knows? But next year, I always like to one up myself. So, and I've done this forever with fish, deer, everything. I always try to do better. So next year, I'm going to set a goal of those buckheads right there. That's my friend Mark Hickerson on here, or McKinley Mark, and I do them for only $60. You cannot find that anywhere, and I don't care. Even though it takes me a little extra work now, I am not going to bump my prices. I do not agree with anybody that price gouges anymore. I mean, it seems like every year people come up with a reason every year to just say, bumping a price, but not me. I'm happy. $60 gets her done. So, hey Neil, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, the propane game. I hate it. I hate it. In fact, I got to call tomorrow and have another fill up. That's expensive. Hey there, Brent. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Richard. Thank you. I know you don't see it, and I kind of screwed up on that, Richard. I was trying to get you guys an ice fishing video. Those guys were very, very cool. They were big fans of the show. They invited me to squirrel hunt. In fact, that squirrel that was shot in the video, they even said, the guy looked at me, goes, "Hey, you want to go shoot it?" He was going to give me his gun, let me go shoot it, and I should have just walked along with him. I should have dropped the ice fishing then and there for the day and just went, because it's not often. I mean, yeah, squirrel hunting, I could do that whenever, but it's not often you see guys that have dogs trained up for that, and it was very cool. They had a mix of dogs. If you watch the video, you see there was 4 dogs, and not a single one was the same dog. They were all different. Very cool. That little one was so cute. Come running up to me. It's very nice. So yeah, pellet stove would definitely be nice. I've heard a lot of good stuff about that, Bill. Yeah, it's always something, Neil. Always, you know that. I swear I've had more vehicle problems just in the past 2 years than I probably did in the whole rest of my life. It sucks. So yeah, definitely got to get out, Brent. Yep, things are looking good, man. Things are looking good. Exactly, John. Yep. People forget that nowadays. I see all these people, and a lot of taxidermists are getting mad at me because I'm too low, but you know what? Not for the work I do in it. It's not that much work. And for me, it's just extra money. And exactly, the lower price gets me more business. I'm able to get people that cannot afford a normal taxidermist. So works out good. Hey there, sis. How you doing? I see there's only 37 people watching and 14 thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up. I appreciate y'all. Again, I've got some ice fishing stuff to talk about tonight. That's going to be the main thing here. Hey, Mark, how you doing, brother? Look, that is your head right there, my friend. That is your 10 point. And what's funny is I held it up. My 8 and your 10 are pretty much twins. So, yep, same price for a bear, Matt. Yep, $60. I do 60 for that's bear, deer. I charged 100 for the cow, which was hell of a deal because that took a long time to clean that big old head. But yep, and I go cheaper for other things too. If anybody drops a beaver or something off, probably $20. So hey there, Max, how you doing? So yeah, like I said though, guys, this is what's going to be on the auction block tonight. Now this bag, it's an ice fishing bag, like I did before. Only this time, I really loaded it. So whoever gets this is going to be winning because this has a whole bunch. I'll pull one thing out just to show you guys so you can see what I'm dealing with here. This is just one little baggie I put together. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of different brands in there, lots of good jigs. In this bag alone, there's more than 50 ice jigs, all name brand, a lot of good stuff. And there's also your plastics, and there's tip up alarms in here, and all my LT Outdoors ice stuff. So this is going to be a really good bag. Anybody that wins that, you're good for the whole winter. Probably a few winners. So yep, it should be good. But yeah, I put that together tonight for you guys. And then also, I had all these right here. Like I said, if you watch, I appreciate you if you watched my video. I know it wasn't much of a video, but I did my best with what I had. Um, but I wanted to show you. In the video, I was talking about this rod, okay? I had to kind of voice over myself. The wind was ridiculous. It was like 30 mile an hour blowing right into the mic, and I didn't realize it. So here I was talking all great about this rod, and you couldn't hear me. So I wanted to bring it with me today. Yes, I seen your comment about this being looking like too big of a rod, John. It's really not. As far as I'm concerned, this is as big as they should be. Some people go bigger. This one right here is 36 inches, which that's pretty big for a rod. But it's great for ice fishing. I like the longer rods in situations where I'm outside jigging, and the reason for that is it's best to be away from the hole. You're not overcasting your shadow. In a shanty, it's different. You're covered. You're shaded. The fish ain't going to see as much, and plus you want to be kind of closer to your hole in the shanty. But when you're outside of the shanty, I feel that it's better to have a longer rod so you can be away from the hole. And this is a perfect rod. And like I said, my buddy makes these rods. This one here is actually called the Carbon Hammer. It's $50. I thought it was a little cheaper, but he does have a lot cheaper rods on there. But this one here is $50. My friend Adam Beebe is the one that makes this stuff. Michigan Panfish Slayers is the name of his company. You can go right online, type that in Google, and it'll pull it right on up. He not only has these great rods, but he has a lot of his own plastics and ice jigs and everything. He is an all ice fishing Michigan business. It's great. He's got everything you want. But like I said, these work really good. Definitely makes sense, John. It's for the longest time I only wanted shorter rods, but honestly, jigging I tried it last year with a longer rod, and it's really nice to jig with. This thing has a great tip. It's not super light. It's light enough to play with the fish, but at the same time, it's heavy enough to get a really good hook set. What I like about it too that I mentioned in the video is they got the split grip. I love split grips, and of course, you got to put your own reel seats on here, which is nothing. These things are cheap. This is 13 fishing reel seats. Now, one thing I want to say that I'm going to change for sure, the other day or yesterday when I was doing this, I was fishing with this reel. I have gotten to where I don't want to fish with spinning reels in the winter. Okay. Big reasons too. Spinning reels, your line, it has so much memory, and with these spinning reels going around and around, that your bait down there, no matter what, it doesn't even have to be a spoon. With a little jig and a plastic, it's going to spin and spin and spin. Believe me, I've seen it on the camera. Fish do not like that. When your line gets all spun up like that, and if you drop your hook in the water and you see it spinning like this, the fish don't want nothing to do with it. And if they do, good luck getting the hook in their mouth, because they're going to smack it either way. They'll hit the back of the bait. Everything else is just a mess. So you do not want a lure that's spinning in circles. Now, what I'm getting at here, guys, is any more rather than these spinning reels. Yes, this is great for summer. All summer long, I'll use them. However, these are the only reels I ever want to use again for ice fishing. These reels, because they don't go around and around, they go this way, they are guaranteed to not loop up. You are not going to get your line all tangled. It's impossible. The way these are, that's why they made them this way to begin with. They stop your lures from getting all twisted, which is excellent. That lure will just sit however I want in the water. It ain't going to sit there and spin. And also, these are just excellent rods or excellent reels for reeling fish in. They got a quick reel to them. Their drag situation is, I like hearing the click, and I know some of you guys complain that there's no, ticking of the drag. However, it's a nice smooth drag. It really is. If you watch my videos last year, this is all I really used, and it's excellent. These things are great. The Black Betty 13 fishing is probably my favorite one that I've used. This one's okay with the metal, but I do prefer the plastic one, which might sound weird, but it's because the plastic one won't freeze up on you. You got with metal, it's going to ice up, and it's going to, it might slow down on you. However, the plastic one doesn't. Plastic don't ice as fast as metal. So I do really like this Black Betty. This is my favorite. I really want to get one more of these to put on my Michigan Panfish Slayer rod. If anything else, I'm going to take it off of this rod and put it on here so I can get some good fishing in with it, because I swear these inline reels are definitely the way to go anymore. They're costly, especially a good one. You don't want to buy a cheap one. I'm telling you right now, the cheap inlines are horrible. So you got to get a good reel for these things. But the Schoolie 24s, I think it's cool that they're making Schoolie rods again. I don't know if you noticed that, but HT is actually making Schoolie rods. Lisa, that's on here right now, she has them in her store. It was the first time I'd ever seen them. I think it's pretty cool, because the classic Schoolie, I loved them since I was a little kid. I mean, that's all I used growing up. We wasn't really a poor family, but we didn't have much money, and that is our main rod. I mean, first rod I had for probably 10 years was a Schoolie, and I caught everything with it. I mean, you just got to know what you're doing with them things, but probably makes you a better fisherman learning that, because you know how to fight the fish with a crappy drag and everything else. And yeah, the Black Betties are awesome, Bill, hands down. Old small bait casters. Yep, that's the same reason with those. I have tried those, and I do like them, but there's something about reeling like this that just doesn't feel right to me for ice fishing. I've tried it. I even own a couple little tiny ones, but I'm just not a big fan of them. I also have a couple other rods here that I want to show you guys. Now, these ones were the company that I'm still with. I'm on contract with, so I got to be careful showing other stuff. However, I wanted to show you these rods. This one here, this is the Precision Noodle by Tuned Up Custom Rods. This is a 28-inch rod, and it's a precision noodle blank. What's nice about the noodles is you've got a very, very sensitive tip. However, it backs itself up really fast. Basically, the tip is just your spring bobber. That's all that is. And you've got all that backbone right there, so that when you set the hook, you're still going to get a good hook set. Doesn't matter if this is light or not, it gets a good hook set. So these are really great. Yeah, they're definitely cheap. What I should mention too, guys, is I forgot to say that, but like I said, this is $50 here from Michigan Panfish Slayers. However, They have rods as low as $25 on there. They're, what do they call it? The Panfish Slayer rod. Oh, that's the Carbon Hammer. Sorry. The Panfish Slayer rod on Michigan Panfish is $25. So come on, you can't beat that. I mean, other than a schoolie, you're not going to find something cheaper, and they're well made. They do a good job. So they have pride in their work, which is what you want to find with a company. Because if somebody loses their pride and doesn't care so much about the outdoorsman, well, then they're going to start making crap. So yeah, yep. The schoolies are cheap, but man, I tell you, you don't want to hook into you get a steelhead on a schoolie and good luck. But yes, this is the precision noodle, guys. This is the one of the rods that I really like, especially for panfish. This is probably the best panfish rod that I've ever owned. I really love it. Um, and this is by Tuned Up Custom Rods. And I also have, well, as you can see, split grip. That's my favorite thing on an ice rod anymore. But also, this one's rigged with my Black Betty that I really like. And what's nice about the Black Betty also that I didn't mention with inline reels, if you've got them set just right, you can drop it and it goes really slow. It's going fast enough where it's going to get down there, but at the same time, it's not flying past the fish's face because that's another thing that does scare them. A lot of people don't realize that. But if you just blindly drop a jig down the hole and let's say there's a crappie halfway through this column, you go in front of that thing's face, it's not going to like it. So, oh, what is a schoolie? I should have had one here with me to show you, John. The schoolies, they're the old-fashioned rods that had like a round plastic thing on it. The spool was just a round plastic thing, and the drag was a metal nut right in the middle of it. And they usually come with red little pins that you can put in there to stop the line from going so far, which is nice in most cases, especially when you find suspended fish. However, you hook a big fish like a pike or something, and you've got that little nut in there, you better rip it out fast because that fish is going to spin you to that nut and snap you. So, yeah, schoolies are an old fashioned type of rod, but they work. Hey there, Dean. Thank you. 25-inch bite. I've caught some big fish on my schoolies, but I think my biggest was 32 on a pike with the schoolie, but it's not easy. It is not easy. Plus, he ain't got that much line on them things. Yeah, but yeah, I get the drag system. You got to watch you don't cut your finger when those pike are just ripping that thing. Oh, it's a blast. Maybe I'll do a video this season, just one day or something, showing it because they do work. And I own, God, I probably got 50 schoolies out in the barn. I got every shape and size of them. So the other rod that I have here, guys, to show you tonight from Tuned Up. This is the rod that I chose to fish mostly for perch and walleye. Also great for steelhead and stuff like that. This is a heavier duty rod. However, it still has some play. You can fight fish with it, especially you hook a perch, you're still going to get a good fight out of this. This is not super stiff. They do have stiffer rods, however. We'll get into that in a minute. But this is their basically their next step down from that precision noodle that I just showed you. So, I mean, you're going to get some play in it. You can definitely still see the tip move, so it's good for seeing bites. However, this rod is definitely it's made for backbone, and I like that for perch and walleye in general. I really like to have a rod that's got a little more backbone. I still like to get a fight. However, I feel it's better to get a good hook set on those fish. It's a little harder to get a solid hook set on those than it is a bluegill. So I do like a little heavier rod for that, especially walleye. Good luck hooking walleye with an ultralight. You can do it, but it's not easy. So I do like rods like this, specifically for walleye and perch. Now this one here, like I said, this company's more expensive. Both these rods I just showed you, the Precision Noodle and this one, are $129. So that's where again, Michigan Panfish Slayers has some really good affordable rods for those that don't are on a tight budget, and I totally get that. I do love these rods, but yes, Michigan Panfish Slayers are way more affordable. Um, these are very well made, though. Like I said, the ultralight there works epic, especially for crappie fishing. I feel like you get a way. It's harder to see a crappie bite on a like a rod like this. You're not going to see that rod tip go up, but on a ultralight like that, you do. And another thing too, tuned up rods they range from 120 all the way up to $280. So They are definitely higher up on rods. However, Panfish Slayer is very affordable. So if you're looking for a good affordable rod, the Panfish Slayers are good for that. Hey there, Jimbo. How you doing, buddy? Yep, that's what they're called. Oh yeah, yeah. I never thought about that for the tip down. I just like them. The schoolie rods are cool. I almost forgot I did pick out a sound tonight, so let me get it going before I forget. And this one, I think Rick. I don't think you can be in this one, Rick, or Braden. All right, here we go. Okay, first sound bite. Oh, I'm definitely gonna be doing. Oh, you mean the fishing show? As far as I know, Robert, they are still doing it. I'm not sure when. I mean, the guy said that it would be twice as big next year, so I know they're gonna have it. I just don't know exactly when. However, I know the big fishing show in Michigan, especially. I think it's mostly ice fishing or fishing in general. That thing starts in January. I can't remember the dates. I think it's mid January, and then in February, I believe, is when the big outdoor expo show is. But I prefer the fishing shows compared to Rick knows. I prefer the fishing shows compared to the outdoor ones. Seems like you don't get as many um, otter slide. You don't get as many guides in that. I mean, you're still going to get some fishing guides, but it's not as bad. The outfitters, there's way too many outfitters at the expo show. It can be really ridiculous. But yeah, I'm not sure though. I know they're gonna have another fishing show down there, just not. I thought you meant fish wise. I am really sure that I'm gonna be able to ice fish Saginaw this year, which is exciting to me. I will make several trips out there if we get good ice. I will, because that the Saginaw is definitely one of my favorite places in the state. There was a guy on the Saginaw River yesterday. I seen it online. I would not recommend that just yet, especially when up here we still have some thin ice. Yeah, not a good idea. But right on to that guy anyway, getting out there like that. Thor's tooth is one tooth. Yeah. If you guys missed already, I see there's 42 of you watching. I appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up. I will be doing an ice fishing auction bag tonight. There's at least 50 ice jigs in here from various companies, as well as plastics from various companies and all the LT Outdoors, as well as a couple tip up harnesses or tip up alarms. Get too far ahead of myself. They took a ship out yesterday. See, what I'm thinking though, Matt, if they keep that, Rick gave me this idea. If it keeps going the way it is with the cold weather, it might get too much for that ship. They're going to stop pushing through there if it gets good enough. So, fingers crossed that it gets good enough, and either that or just go further upriver. I mean, the boats only go so far. Wow, that's cool, Jimbo. Very cool. I would have never guessed it, but I mean, it's been cold. I haven't looked at your forecast, but I know down Saginaw Bay City they were in the single digits and negatives too. So, oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that, Matt. I didn't know they closed it, so that's good. Yeah, I don't. They haven't though in the past few years, have they? Because of the fact that it's been open for the most part, or I don't think. I mean, yes, you're going to have some flow, Jimbo. That's for sure. Um, Oh, St. Clair. God, see, I thought you were talking Saginaw. Yep, St. Clair might be toast, especially if you only had that much. I do think though up here because, like I said, I was on 5, 6 inches just yesterday. I believe that our ice is going to stick around fine up here. It takes a lot more than 2 days of warmth to get rid of that much ice. What it'll do is it'll make a mess. It'll be sloppy in the day because the snow is going to be melting around. Most of our snow went today, and then you'll lose some of the top layer of ice. However, nighttime temps, as far as I can see, get below freezing every night, which is good because anything you lose during the day, it's going to freeze back up at night. You're going to gain it each night. And if we only get a couple days like that and it freezes at night like that, it's going to be fine because after that, it looks like it gets cold again right back down, and we'll just keep building ice after that. So fingers crossed. I don't want any snow on this ice until we get some thick stuff. Yeah, rain and 50 tomorrow. It'll hold up. I mean, a lot of it'll hold up still, and it'll just refreeze. Yeah, that's right. They still working on that Independence Bridge. I don't think they're ever going to get that done. I love the Jeremiah Johnson movie. It's been a long time since I've seen that. See, I don't know, man. I don't know second floor just because I seen, like I said, I've been watching the where's that down there? That the live cam down there. I watch it a lot. And it froze up pretty solid. Like I said, my buddy down there, Officer Paul that gets on here, he told me it's been pretty dang cold, single digits and stuff. It seems like that should hold. I mean, yeah, you're going to get some runoff underneath. That's going to suck. But as long as, even if you can keep a skim on the Saginaw and we get over with these couple warm days, it's going to freeze back up in no time. So, yeah, what you gotta look for, Robert, even down there, especially if St. Clair had some fishable, go to the tiniest lakes you can find out in the woods, man. Like your Lake Gillett's, it's a decent sized lake. It definitely ain't what I'd consider a small lake. You want to get out and scout on some of the tiny lakes. There's a lot of really small lakes in the Waterloo Rec area, and if they had thick enough ice on St. Clair for even a day, guarantee a lot of those little lakes out there, especially if you can find them around 5 to 10 acres, and there are a few down there. Those things will be solid, I'm sure. Oh, geez, that's crazy. Yeah, some people push it, man, and they learn the hard way. I seen that, man. I seen that with Caseville. I seen guys out there, and I heard they were getting the Lakers. I'm like, "Ah, I am dying to get down there. It's something I've been wanting to do every year. And again, freaking um, the car problems is going to keep me from doing what I want to do. So yeah, there you go. Just check them, Rob. I mean, the worst that can happen is that they're not fishable, but you never know unless you get out. That's why even on days that last week when I did the first ice check, I didn't think there was going to be any even close to being good, but there was. I was surprised. We had some that were almost 3. There was a couple that were over 3 or 4. So yeah, you just never know till you get out. And like I said, even in this recent video, you see I fished one lake which had thick ice, went to the next lake and it didn't have thick ice. So it all depends. Plus, the further inland you go, what's nice down there in Jackson area, you're quite a ways inland. So you get away from the Great Lakes like that, and you're definitely going to freeze up better. You're not going to get all them psycho winds like we get up here or anywhere along the Great Lakes. Were you really, Max? Did you get any perch? That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're getting out already. There you go, second floor. That sounds good. I appreciate it. I think we will, man. I really do. Like I was definitely hesitant at first. I told you guys I was a Debbie Downer there for a bit because I've been watching all this, reading all the science posts and how they're saying we're going to have worse winters every year. But so far, man, so far it's looking good. I mean, the temps, yes, we got a couple warm ups this day, couple warm ups the week after. But as long as we get 3 out of the 7 days of being cold, we got a chance of it all freezing up. Especially if we can get some more single digits. That stuff really does it. Got out twice? Sweet, man. Big gills. Oh, you're killing me. I think I know where you're at down there. I got a buddy I talked to down there that's all he does. And yeah, that's a dream of mine too. Even though, yes, I can get gills up here, I love fishing new areas. And I've always wanted to fish down there and get them. I hear there's, big gills, crappie, sunfish for sure. There's huge pumpkin seeds down there. So, all right, it is 7:30. I'm gonna do this auction here real quick. As soon as the auction's done, I'll play that soundbite again. I tried to pick a hard one this week because it seems like everybody keeps getting them. So, all right, guys, the ice fishing bag, like I said, I packed this full. There's 50 plus ice jigs in here, all really good ones, as well as, I mean, there's jig and Rapala type lures in here, Swedish pimple. There's stuff in here, good stuff, plastics, 2 tip up alarms, all my LT Outdoors ice stuff. There's a lot of good things in here. So, uh, you get the perch in first thing in the morning. That's good to know. 20 bucks. Matt started off at 20. Mark's in at 50. I'm sure Jen wants this. Oh, congrats on the pike and the walleye too, Mark. You're killing me. I want to get out there now. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, though. We're at 50 right now. Don comes in at 60. $60. $60. Like I said, there's a whole pile of good lures in here, guys. And out of those 50 plus teardrops, a lot of them cost pretty good money. So, yeah, they're good stuff. So we got 60 bucks right now, guys. $60. This bag will get you through a bunch of winners. I knew it, Jen. 60 bucks. Don's at 60 right now. 70. Mark comes in at 70. Like I said, I showed off one baggie because I've got a few bags, little bags in here loaded with ice jigs, and they're all good ones. Mark's at 70. You were at the marsh. That's where I kind of figured you were. That's a good area. Now I can't find them. They're buried in here. There's a lot of stuff in here, though, guys. There's a lot of stuff in here. So it is packed. 75 bucks. Don's at 75 bucks right now, guys. 75 gets you 50 plus ice jigs, a bunch of LT Outdoors stuff, and plastics and tip-up alarms, which tip-up alarms you could definitely use, Mark. They're easy and they work great. Keeps you from having to keep your eye on them. 75 bucks right now. 75 for this great ice bag. Yeah, I threw a lot of my favorite stuff in here. There's some really good things. 75 bucks, guys. This is an ice fishing bag that could easily, you could go out with nothing but this bag in your bucket right now and just slay fish. It's got all the best stuff in it. So 75 bucks. We're at 75. Don Robinson's got her at 75. I'm going to let it go for another 30 seconds. 75 on the clock. 80. Rob comes in at 80. Sorry, Richard. Rob beat you by a second there. We're at 80 bucks. I wanted to find these packages I have of all these jigs. I mean, I got some really good jigs in there. 80 bucks. 80 bucks. Rob's at 80 right now. He beat you by a split second, Richard. 80 bucks. 90. Richard comes in at 90. $90. 90 bucks. It's got a bunch of my favorite plastics in here. A lot of good ice jigs. All kinds of ice fishing things. $90 right now for the ice fishing bag. The money tonight goes to getting my car fixed. It's got to get done. I got to get on the road. So 90 bucks right now. 90 bucks. I'm going to let it go for another 30 seconds right now, guys. $90. $90 right now. I'm going to let it go for 30 seconds. If nobody else bids, Richard's going to get it for 90. It's definitely worth it. There's a lot of, I mean, the ice jigs themselves are worth more than that. There's some good stuff in here. $90, guys. 100 bucks, no shipping. Yep, no shipping. I mean, I wasn't going to charge shipping regardless. I've been trying not to on stuff, so trying to save people. But $100, Rob's at 100 right now, guys. $100 with no shipping and handling. 100. Come on, Mark. Jen's got some stuff in here she wants. 100 bucks, guys. 100 bucks. There is a lot of stuff in here. Richard's at 110. 110 right now, guys. 110. I didn't weigh it, but it's a hefty little bag. Richard's got 110 right now, the ice fishing bag. Lots of goodies in there to last you a few winners at least. So 110 right now. Richard Carson's at 110. Gonna let it go for 15 seconds. We're at 110 right now, guys. 110, 15 seconds on the clock. There's a lot of goodies in this bag. It's definitely worth it. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. You got him, Richard. Thank you for that, man. Definitely gonna help me get the car fixed. Appreciate you. Yep, just message me your you're welcome, congrats. Message me your information for shipping and stuff, and we'll get that out to you first thing tomorrow. So, yeah, you'll definitely like it. Like I said, man, there's a lot of goodies in there. I took all my favorite jigs. I mean, it's good. There's Widowmaker and a whole bunch of other companies in there. Northland, HT, lots of good stuff. So I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I think it's the wheel bearing. It was humming awfully loud, and it's pulling a little, and I took Rick, he come over to look at it today, and what was weird is we tried wobbling the tire and it didn't move much for how much noise it's making. So I really hope that's the problem, because if I order the wheel bearing and it's not, I'm gonna cry. But yeah, thank you guys though. I appreciate that. I will play the sound bite again here before I forget to. And there is a really good reason why I chose this sound bite tonight. I will explain it at the end of the show. Never been to Fairhaven? Yeah, you got to get up here soon, Max. Now that we've got ice, man, you got to get up here so I can get you out. Max just started ice fishing last year, guys. There's a lot he hasn't got to do, and I want to get him out on some cool fish. Should be a fun time. I know for a fact that a bunch of my favorite places are iced up safe. I've heard of 5 inches on a bunch of different lakes, so that's really good. And it's going to put up with this kind of weather too, because like today, all we really lost was the snow, just a little bit on the top of the ice. It ain't going to be bad. Guinea fowl next door to me for sure. Are you guys hearing static? Is that what you're saying, Jen? Flock of starlings. I'm not sure what everybody's talking about. Is it making weird noises? Oh, Jesus. Wow. See, I'm out of it today, guys. I get what you're saying. You're trying to guess. Oh, jeez. Good guess, Jen. Good guess. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Lisa. I hope things get better for you. I got it, Jen. It took me a minute. Uh, I will say this: it is wildlife. It is not snow. It is not the wind. It's some kind of wildlife. Aw. Yeah. Good one, Ken. It does sound a little like that. Yeah, it's not quite to that loud, but close, man. Very close. Now, I showed you guys those ice rods. I do want to make mention something though. First ice, if you guys can get on first ice, it can be really great. First ice and last ice are your two best parts of the year. I think first ice I got to lean on a little more for it to be the best. So you want to get out there, especially when it comes to perch fishing and panfish. They are on fire right now. You want to get on them when you can. I will say this, however, the very first ice, okay, like the ice I was on yesterday, it was a super cold day making ice. Thanks, Mark. You got that sound. It's not what the bite was, but when it's making ice like that, it does a lot of banging and booming. When it first starts making ice and you get in the negative and low temp single digits, now that banging also does spook the fish. I have seen it happen time and time again on the camera. When that ice makes a thunder noise and rattles all across it, the fish go crazy. So even though first ice is amazing, if you get out on a day like that and you're on thin ice, the fish can be skittish. They really can be. But when we get our ice set in and it stops booming around so much, fishing will get a lot better. I think the first month of fishing is top dog for ice fishing. Hey Tony, how you doing, buddy? Auger drill and ice. You guys you're gonna laugh when I tell you at the end, especially because like I said, there's a really good reason. Hey there, Adrian. How do you locate fish? Oh man, Oakland, you got some really good fishing down there. I don't know what your if you've got any permissions or anything. I know there's a lot of private places down there, but there's also some just really good fishing. Now, I will tell you this, Adrian, if you're fishing without electronics, your best bet is to drop your line slowly. Maybe, I don't know how deep you're in. Let's say you're in 20 feet. Drop her down 5 feet, jig for just a minute. If you don't get a bite, drop her another 5 feet. This is the old school way of fishing. If you don't have electronics, it can be tough, especially because bluegills, you've got some epic bluegill and crappie fishing down there in Oakland, but they are usually 9 times out of 10, they're going to be suspended. And when they're suspended, that, obviously means off the bottom. It can be hard to find them without electronics. I do recommend, Adrian, if you get a chance to, get a flasher. Get even just the original Vexilar FL8. That's what I have. Perfect, man. You will never, if you fish with that, you will never go without one again because you can see all the fish, you can see your lure. It tells you everything you could ever need to know. So that is my go-to. If I had to say one way of finding fish, I would say get a Vexilar. Other than that, you really got to work it. You'll have to, I mean, you might be in a hole that doesn't even have fish and you're dropping that 5 feet every now and then, and you're not going to find them that way. And then you got to bounce to another hole and hope that one does and start over again. That's where those schoolie rods that we talked about earlier kind of came into play as being a great thing because you put that little pin, they come with a plastic pin you could put in the reel and it would stop your line at a spot. So if you did find the fish, let's say you were 10 feet down and you get a bite, stick that thing in there so you're right on them every time. But yeah, it can be difficult, Adrian. Now, I will say though, as far as blindly finding fish, if you know your lake, look for seaweed. If you know where weed beds are and stuff, that's great, especially under the ice. Your weed beds that are closer to shore obviously die off in the winter, but if you can find some deeper weeds or any kind of structure, you're going to find the fish. They won't be far from structure. Yeah, the cracks that come through it. I had a friend out on that lake yesterday and he was worried. He's like, "I don't know about it, man. It's cracking." I was like, "It's just making." Oh. Oh, yeah. People don't realize that, Jimbo. It's amazing. I get mad when I'm watching that camera and somebody starts walking up the shanty, especially if it's a DNR. I'm like, "God dang you." But hey there, John. For perch and walleye, now that's a little easier, Adrian. They are always going to be near the bottom, on or near the bottom. I've never seen walleye or perch. Well, I have one time, but very, very seldom. They are going to be within a foot off the bottom. So, yeah, I mean, you might not know they're down there fishing blind. However, if you just fish that, keep your line down there. Don't go too deep either. Those fish, they're not going to be far from the drop offs. And the deeper you get, the worse the oh, what's it called? There's a part down in the water that gets too high, the thermocline, and those fish won't be that far. So, like, let's say Hubbard Lake, for instance, some people go to that 50 to 100 feet of water or whatever. That's pointless. I mean, the fish might be there, but they're going to be up way off the bottom. They won't be down past the thermocline. Thank you, Rick. If you haven't, please hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it's so easy though. I mean, as soon as you learn the flasher, it is simple. And I'll have to do a video this year. It's not easy to see a flasher on my camera because it's literally flashing and it flashes so fast that the GoPro doesn't pick it up. But I'll do a video with my phone. I promise you guys I'll do that just so you can see exactly how that works. But they are super easy, man. They dummy proof. I'm telling you, I'm not that smart with stuff like that, but it took me just a few days to learn it. Arm over arm anymore. I used to do that too a lot. Yep. You know. Yeah, you end up getting a fish and you don't want to lose your spot. You just pull it out and hope you don't make a mess on the ice. Done that a lot. Me too, Rob. Me too. Yep. That's a good sound. You hear that? You hear all that booming and cracking on the coldest days you got when you hear that booming, it's just making ice. Yep, 3 to 4. My golden rule though with that, I guess it depends on the clarity of the lake because like Vanetton Lake is extremely dirty, Those fish don't get up off the bottom very much because they can't see that good anyway. Saginaw River, even, I do best right close to the bottom. I mean, yeah, sometimes they are up, but the fish that are up a little higher are usually going to be more finicky. But yeah, I see what you're saying. If you're on a clear water, for sure, 3 to 4 feet will not hurt up off the bottom because those fish can easily see it. You want your bait above them anyway. That's the thing, that all fish's eyes are to where they see better up high than they do underneath of them. So no matter what, you want to be up ahead of those fish. Perch for sure though. Walleye get up a little bit, but perch I wouldn't go above the bottom too much. Lake 16, Lake Orion. See, I don't know those lakes very well, but how deep are they, Adrian? See, that's interesting. I have never seen them. Of course, during I have heard that during like the wiggler hatch and stuff, mayfly hatch each year, walleyes will come up and eat those. But that's only on occasion when weird things like that are happening. 90% of the time, those walleyes are going to be by the bottom. Oh, it is so much easier, Max. Yeah, you'll love it, man. Very easy. Oh, I bet, John. I bet. The noises sometimes that it makes. Yeah, it's very strange. All right, let's start this again. All right. Hey, Adam. Is this my buddy Adam from school? I bet it is. How you doing, dude? I'm glad you like it, man. And thank you. It's funny. I come up. I don't go anymore. I was going to church, and on the way to church or on the way home from church the one night, I just come up with that that song. I don't know how. I just come up with it, and I'm like, that is perfect. So yeah, I really like it. Thank you. I knew it was you. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing good, man. It was awesome seeing you at the class reunion. It'd been way too long. Seven Lakes is 50. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't 80% and around 10. Yeah, the 10-foot lakes are easy. On those, I mean, like said earlier, couple feet off the bottom, 3 feet off the bottom even, you can't go wrong in 10 feet of water. Now the 50 feet's a little tougher, but I wouldn't go that deep. I would stay closer to the drop offs and any structure that you can find. Eating the flesh off my skulls. Yes, the beetles do that work. I skin them and I take the brains and the eyes and the tongue out because that's the hardest parts for them to eat. But after that, I just throw it in and they eat all the meat. So, but I come out, like I said, I'm not going to say how because I know I want it to be my little secret for my taxidermy work. But I come up with something the other day that makes them whiter and cleaner. You can probably eat off these things when I'm done with them. Thanks, brother. Hope you're doing good, man. Possum, that's close. They do hiss pretty loud. Lesser geese. I'm gonna give it, if nobody gets it right by 7:55, that's when I'll come out with it and I'll tell you why I chose that. But again, guys, first ice, I was talking about that before. It's great for a lot of the fish because the fish were in their feeding frenzy anyways in the fall. They continue that for the first ice. It's really great fishing. The further you get into the winter, the tougher the fishing gets because the fish, their metabolism slow down, they're losing oxygen. The longer they're under the ice, the worse they are. So health wise, they're super perked up and healthy right now, as they will be when the ice starts leaving again in the spring. Good times to get out and get them. Oh, is that my sound? Could be. I should, I really want. I wish I had a good camera to put out there because I would love to just drop a camera in with those beetles and time lapse it. Because, like I said earlier, guys, I am cleaning that head right there. Mark's head took 3 days. That's it. That's skinned out, dropping it in, whitened, 3 days. The sound, it's something I do every week now, Adrian. It's a free little giveaway for people. Anybody that can guess the sound bite right each week, it's usually something that has to do with birds or wildlife of some kind. And anybody gets it right, I send them a package in the mail with some lures and a decal. So it's just something fun for me to do to get people on here active and chatting more, and for me to give away, stuff to as a thank you for everybody that gets on here. So that's pretty much what it's about. Oh man, that's sacred, Max. That's sacred talk. If I had to say, I can't say. I can't say. You get up here, we'll discuss that, Max. But I cannot tell. Trout fishing in general is sacred. No problem, Adrian. Sometimes I do pretty easy ones. 4 minutes from now, and I'll tell you guys exactly what it is if I don't get it. Barn owl. I didn't know they hissed. I'll have to look that up. I was gonna choose an owl sound tonight, and seems how I didn't choose it. I'm gonna tell you guys what it was. If you get a chance, look it up. It's pretty unique, and that is the barred owl clicking noise. They make a very cool click with their beak when they're angry. That's their warning. Like, get away from me. I know this because I caught one in a trap one time, in a weasel trap. He wasn't injured at all. Weasel traps are small. Just had him by the tail, and I'm thinking he went in there to get my mice that I had for bait. And it was pretty interesting. I was able to get him out of the trap. I held on to him. I, it wasn't legal to do this, but I wanted to show him to my mom so bad because she loves owls. I put him in the front seat of my car at the time. He was only a mile up the road when I caught him anyway, but I brought him home just to show her. She got to hold it, got to listen to it, pet it, and then we let it go. It actually spent 2 days hanging out in my apple tree. So probably why I'm losing my birds. Skunks do hiss. They do. I'll give you that. What turd? You got to come out and say bye to everybody. Geese. That's a good guess. Geese definitely. They can definitely hiss, but it's not a goose. All right, come on, turd. Come on up here, turd. Oh. Yeah, barred. The barred owl, though. If you no, it's not. He didn't get it. That's not what the soundbite is. But yeah, if you get a chance, look up barred owl and listen to their clicking. They actually click their beaks. It's a really crazy click noise that they make. It's pretty interesting, but that's not what the soundbite is. You just got me thinking of that. Mountain lion. I like that guess. They definitely hiss. They definitely hiss loud. You when you can't catch a fish. Emus, yeah, emus do it. I mean, that's the thing too, guys. When I play these, there is always a chance of a lot of other things sounding like certain stuff. 1 minute, and I'll tell you guys what it is. See, Gemmer's tired. She's worn out today. She had a rough day. She got to see Uncle Rick and Braden come play with her. Yeah, she had a good day today. Brain stick. Like I said, there's an interesting reason I chose this, and I'll tell you guys here in a second. And you're going to like it too, because it'll give you a reason to go back through my videos. Possums definitely hiss. Porcupines squeak. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they do. It is 7:55, so I will now tell you guys what it is. It's definitely a bird. It is the vulture. All right. It is our vulture that does that noise. It's pretty amazing. And the reason I chose that sound, you guys, is because My very first video, the first video, and this wasn't for LT Outdoors. This was before I just put a couple stupid videos on here when I made my YouTube account, and it involves a little young vulture in a deer blind. I called it the Sasquatch of Alcona County. It's a dumb video, I'm telling you right now, but it's cool because you get to actually see the vulture. You get to hear it make those noises, and they also stomp their feet and they puke. Now, some of you might know from Discovery Channel and that about how vultures puke. That's something that that's one of their mechanisms to warn off enemies. Basically, if something pukes, you're not going to want to eat it. So they throw up. It's disgusting. But if you guys go, if you guys go through and check my very first videos. My very first, I have two of them: the Sasquatch Bird of Alcona County, and I believe it's just Sasquatch Bird Alcona County 2 or something. But it's pretty funny. It is a hilarious video. I'm climbing up in this deer blind, and I didn't know what it was. In fact, me and my buddy thought that it was possibly a rattlesnake den because all I could hear as I climbed that ladder was that loud hiss. That is, and you can hear it clear as day in my video too. That's what makes it so cool. But as I was climbing that ladder, this is all I heard. So I'm freaking out, but I didn't want to be a chicken, so I'm not climbing down without seeing what it was. But I got up there and barely opened the door. He's still doing this to me, and he come running. One thing that's neat about the video is you get to see that baby vultures are actually white. They are snowball white. Pretty little things. So how they turn into an ugly bird, I don't know. My first and second video on here are that one, Rob. Oh, thanks. I didn't see that, Bill. Yes, I don't own a tackle shop technically, but I make all these lures. I have a website. It's LToutdoorsLureCo.com where I have all my homemade stuff. I have pig pounders, panty pounders, jumbo slammers, panty harnesses, all kinds of stuff on there, man. My Drunken Dizzy bottle cap jigs are really cool. So yeah, they did. He didn't puke on me, Richard. If you watch it, he stomped towards me and then he stopped and he's puked. And I'm like, oh man, he just puked. But the best part, when I didn't know what it was and he ran at me, I about jumped off the ladder. I probably would have broke my back because it was, like 15 feet up. But my friend John was below me. And as soon as it made this crazy noise running and I yelled, John goes, whoa. And it scared me even more. Made me think I was jumping off. I have, Adrian. I haven't done videos of Tippy, but I have been there. And the reason I haven't been back, I'm sure you know, is all the problems with people. I really try to stay away from people when I'm out in the outdoors because it's my getaway. I don't want to deal with people's drama and just trashiness. And there's so much down there. It's really sad. Shoulder. But yeah, yeah, Tippy Dam is it's fun, but yeah, there's too many people. And if you go through my videos, you'll see, yeah, I got, thanks, shoulder to shoulder, yeah. And I hate that. I do. I don't think fishing should be that way. It actually disgusts me when people pile up like that. If you're that close and you got to yell fish on and everybody reels in, I mean that's too much. I mean, you should be able to fish and enjoy life your own way. So I love to get out. You'll notice in a lot of my videos it almost looks like they're private lakes because I'm on lakes that nobody else is on, but it's not. I just drive around and I find lakes where there's nobody. I personally try to find them without people. So I did, yeah. That's when I moved up here as a little kid, was in the heyday on the Asable, and it was that bad. I hope it never gets that bad again. I probably won't because back then is when snagging was just getting out of being legal or it was legal. Either way, that ruined it. I mean, all those people were trashy. Yeah, I can't stand that, Adrian. I cannot stand that. I've mentioned that in videos too. If I see a snagger, one day you guys might see me. I'll probably go to jail, but I will throw one off a break wall. It's gonna happen. Oh, thank you guys so much, though. Thanks, Adrian, for hopping on here. I like seeing new names on here. Thank you all for hopping. It was great to see you guys tonight. I hope you all have a good week. I'm going to try my fastest to get that dang car fixed so I can get some content. I'm going to apologize right up front right now. If I don't have a video Wednesday, it's because I can't get out. So I'm going to try. I might even go squirrel hunting tomorrow so I got some video footage. But thank you guys again. Have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday.